This spirit-filled 25-book series will inspire and encourage children and adults alike. We first meet Rhymin SImon at age 5 on a rainy day. Simon ages 1 full year with every 5 books, and your child's vocabulary and comprehension skills will grow with them as the word complexity increases with the series. Simon faces diverse moral dilemmas and teaches valuable life lessons while keeping your child captivated with fun and hip sing-song rhymes to tell his story. Each book contains a complete glossary to assist your child with the spelling and definition of the more difficult words they will encounter within the Rhymin SImon 25-book series. We're so confident that these are by far the greatest children's books ever written. We invite you to read along with Simon in book number 1, The Day It Rained. ARFC is dedicated to publishing quality Christian books, providing the best customer service possible. We are striving to reach the highest level of customer satisfaction. It's our goal to make our customers feel welcome. Do not hesitate to call or email us anytime with questions or comments. Thank you. Greetings. Today's selection is The Day It Rained. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, awakened with a smile. Shiny bright in the morning light, he decided to jog a mile. Washed and brushed, in no rush, Simon ate his breakfast meal. Fruit and juice, cereal too. He said, "Tremendous is how I feel. It's Saturday, I'm ready to play, no school or chores to do." This he said as he made his bed, then out the door he flew. Dressed in sweats, with his pet, Rocky, a beautiful dog. Down the block, on the sidewalk, happily they jogged. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, waved as he went along, to the birds and trees, touching the leaves, humming a joyful song. Then to his disdain, it started to rain. Oh, what was he to do? With no umbrella, an unlucky fella, Simon's options now were few. Rocky was muddy, what a buddy, he got dirt all over Simon. What a sight, no longer bright, his appearance no longer shining. Feeling down, he turned around and slowly headed home. Countenance sad, he told his mom and dad that his plans today were blown. They wiped his tears and tried to cheer Simon up as best they could. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, knew that his parents were extremely good at lifting his heart. They were smart, and today did not differ. Dad explained that things like rain are what makes our lives richer. He said without it, never doubt it, life would be unbearable for us all. This whole earth would die of thirst. A raindrop, though it's small, serves an important task, so don't be rash in your thoughts. Please understand, the rain provides needed nourishment for all things that dwell on land. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, looked out his window pane. Drop after drop, it wouldn't stop. There came the falling rain. He asked his mom, "From where does it come, and when will it ever cease?" She replied, "From clouds inside they shroud the water that you now see. When the clouds are packed, or imagine stacked, with more moisture than they can contain, suddenly they burst and we're all immersed with drops of lovely rain. Then there's the wind, it blows again, and the clouds are then dispersed. To and fro away they go to some other needy place on earth." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now didn't feel so bad. He wrote his folks a thank you note. Very pleased were mom and dad. They said, "Listen, Simon, it's perfect timing to go out and look around." So rain suit on, Simon was gone. Gleeful he did bound to the yard and back, keeping track of the changes the rain had caused. The spider webs began to ebb. Though resilient, they have their flaws. Rocky ran and once again splashed mud everywhere. Simon laughed, and as the day passed, he understood the rain we share. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now noticed all the plants and bugs around on the ground. A line of little ants hustled along. A happy throng of insects did not stop, but kept on moving in spite of all the rain the clouds had dropped. Satisfied with fun, exploring done, Simon headed back. Rocky too, mom said to both of you, dry off and clean your tracks. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, today learned a valuable lesson. Every cloud has a silver lining, and the rain is filled with blessings. Thank you for listening. Greetings. Today's selection is Color Doesn't Matter, story number 2. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, enjoyed his summer vacation, but now it was done and school had come for all kids across the nation. SImon, excited, could not hide it. A glow beamed off his face. Early he awoke, kissed his folks, and off to school he raced. Books in hand, today would be grand, fascinating and filled with wonder. SImon arrived, very wide-eyed in search of his classroom number. 2 was it. SImon waited a bit, then slowly peeked inside. The teacher said, "Welcome, come on in. There's no reason to hide." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, very shy, closed the door. The teacher said, "Hi, your seat's up front, and my name is Mr. Moore." SImon replied, dignified, "Hello, my name is SImon." Then some kids laughed and rudely asked, "Why is your skin shining?" SImon looked around, up and down, and saw that no one shared his color. Some were brown, yellow, and red, but all a whole lot duller. He felt alone and longed for home. Being different made him afraid. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, was sad. This was openly displayed. Mr. Moore asked, "Is anyone in class ashamed of how they look?" No one spoke. It wasn't a joke. Then nonchalant he took 4 books from the shelf, asking SImon to help by picking any 2 others. SImon complied, very teary-eyed, then ran back to his desk for cover. Mr. Moore said, "One book is red, the other's blue, brown, white, and green. The last is black, and with these facts, I will demonstrate what this means. Inside of each are pages used to teach, all wholesome and good. The outward colors vary, but this isn't scary when the inside contents are understood." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, intense, listen close. Along with the others, silence smothered the room as Mr. Moore spoke. "Each of you are like these books, clothed with skin colors vivid, distinct and unique, a beautiful treat to view. Please never forget it. Like these books, when inside we look, they're displayed as a wonderful story. Very tremendous, breathtaking to see, filled with joy and glory. You see, it's the inside that really counts when understanding the things we see. Whether it be SImon, you or your neighbor, and even teachers like me. We must get to know the inner person, and kindness must always be shown." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now knew he wasn't alone. Mr. Moore asked all the children in class to join hands and share their best smile. All the kids laughed, and as the day passed, none could voice denial. On the outside, they all were different, and inside, this also was true, that there were more things they had in common than any of them imagined or knew. It felt good to share, showing you care about your classmates' emotions, not wanting to hurt them, walk on, or jerk them, but sincerely show an honest devotion to being nice in this life. Love is God's perfect gift. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now felt good enough to live. His head up high, no longer shy, he beamed a happy face. Thanks to the teacher, he now understood that he had no reason to feel disgrace. Being different is common around the world. There are no 2 beings the same. Like the rainbow's outward colors vary, so too do people and names. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, never again would let anyone shatter his self-esteem. His smile just beamed, now knowing that color doesn't matter. Thank you for listening. Greetings. Today's selection is Everything Counts, book number 3. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, accompanied his parents to the mall. Oh, how he loved the sight of it, so bright at night and tall. Up he stared, the neon glared a gigantic welcome sign. He hopped, skipped, did a cartwheel flip, then quickly fell in line. Mom said, "Simon, you behave. Stay close to your dad and I." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, said okay and stood close by. The stores were vast, what a mass of people in one place. To and fro they would come and go, hectic was the pace. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, followed here and there. From mom's new dress to dad's new vest to children's underwear. Up and down, around and round, left and right they walked. Looking, buying, testing, trying. Oh, when will it ever stop? They finally took a break, drank and ate, juice and pizza thick. With melted cheese, his parents teased saying, "Simon, you pay for it." So he looked in his pocketbook for the correct amount. $7 was rough, it wasn't enough, but trust, everything counts. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, inquired, "What does that mean?" They replied with loving eyes, "We admire your desire to bring your own money." Mom said, "Listen, honey, without hesitation you look to pay for the meal. That's a big deal out of your own pocketbook." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, understood he was receiving a lesson on being kind and thoughtful of mind. This was the point they were addressing. To give when asked is a special task and commandment Jesus has given. Showing love in action is pure satisfaction and evidence of godly living. The words we read to do good deeds, you did willingly with a smile. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, thought about this for a while. His parents stood saying, "The time is good to go to the store with toys." Simon leaped up on his feet and made a joyful noise. Hooray, whoopee, filled with glee, off they went in haste. Like paradise was Simon's view of this new and fun-filled place. He ran wild from aisle to aisle, from here to there he bounced, quickly forgetting and a little upsetting in life, everything counts. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, found a shiny new car. Oh, did he like it? Oh, how he wanted it, but his money wouldn't stretch that far. Now he felt sad, he just had to have this magnificent electric toy. His parents were gone, only now did it dawn that he was alone. Oh boy. He thought, "I'm in trouble," so on the double he ran with the car in his pocket. Someone said, "Hey," he was too panicked to stay. The security yelled, "You stop it." Mom and Dad came. Simon tried to explain, "I was scared because I couldn't find you. I know I was wrong for running along. From now on, I promise I'll mind you." His parents asked, "What about this? Feeling amiss?" Simon said, "Oh, this is a toy. My mind was reeling. I wasn't stealing. I'm sorry." And away went his joy. His parents consoled him. They quietly told him, "Simon, we love you. Don't cry. We believe you and would never leave you. So don't worry. Dry your eyes." The guard laughed and kindly asked if he could give Simon a gift of buying the toy and returning his joy, watching his spirit lift. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, learned that lessons are never small. Everything counts, no matter the amount, and disobedience leads to a fall. Thank you for listening. Greetings. Today's selection is Patience Isn't Slow, story number 4. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, was reading a magazine filled with bikes, cars, and trikes. They constantly filled his dreams. Driving fast, but never crashed, swiftly he maneuvered. The car was white, the seat was tight, the steering wheel was louvered. He hugged the turns, rubber burned so vivid he could smell it. He crossed the line, won every time, always smiling in his helmet. Only to wake to Mom's soft shake, whispering, "Simon, time to rise. Out of bed, you sleepyhead." Groggy, he opened his eyes. Simon asked again, "Mom, tell me when I'll be able to drive a car. I'm almost 6 and able to fit, though my legs don't reach that far." Mom grinned, heart smiling within because Simon was so eager to grow up. That's when his dad stepped in. Before work, he would always show up. Dad said, "Hey you, anything new?" Simon eagerly replied, "I feel I'm a man, so today I demand the opportunity to drive." "You're too young," his dad begun. "There's a great deal that you don't know. You'll have to wait. At your present state, your body needs time to grow." Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, felt he couldn't endure waiting for years to pass. He wouldn't crash, of this he was perfectly sure. Desire compelled him, mischief assailed him. Being sneaky, he crept outside to the garage door. He could resist no more. Inside stood his daddy's pride, a Cheetah Phase 6. It was quick, custom without peer. Fast as sound, it vibrated the ground, the engine music to the ear. He could resist no more. He opened the door and slowly eased in the seat. Wow, it felt good. He admired the wood, which made the dashboard complete. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, was always mischief prone. Today confirmed that he had learned to leave other folks' possessions alone. The gear lever was stiff, and lacking the gift of know-how mixed with strength, Simon was stalled, feeling appalled that his legs didn't have the length to depress the clutch. Simon was stuck. Then something caught his eye. It was the key, how easy it would be to give it a little try. Slowly he twisted, in the manual it's listed, "Don't turn when vehicle is in gear." Unaware of these facts, Simon sat back, and oh, what a smash he'd hear. The car violently lurched. Simon, unhurt, was shocked, panicked, frozen. Mom came running. The wreckage was stunning. He was sorry for the action he'd chosen. In a hurry, Dad came. Mom explained that she left Simon alone. Without her consent, Simon just went inside the car, curiosity prone. Sent to his room, he sat until noon, regretting all he had done. He should have listened, now reduced to wishing it away with nowhere to run. His parents walked in, ashamed of his sin. They said, "Simon, come over here. Sit down beside us. Though you defied us, we want to make this clear. Son, we love you. Place nothing above you but Jesus' holy commands. Today you did wrong, going where you didn't belong, so accept our reprimand. You are a child, sometimes wild, eager to grow up fast, but there is no rush. Like we discussed, the foolish never last. You could have died because you set aside right and chose to do wrong. That wasn't wise, and we won't disguise that it's obedience that makes us strong. Remember this, young years are bliss. In time, your wisdom will grow, replacing youth, transformed by God's truth. Understand that patience isn't slow. Thank you for listening. Greetings. Today's selection is Fun is Where You Find It. Story number 5. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, sat at home alone, reading a novel about pirates' treasure in lands with people unknown to exist before. Within this door of fiction was a vast, endless journey of imagination that feasibly would never pass. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, was spellbound and in awe of how the words within the pages manipulated what he saw. His emotions swung. He often hung enraptured on his seat. As peril approached at what was wrote, he could almost feel the heat. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, never would be the same. As he read, sitting on his bed, his whole perspective changed. Always surprised through the author's eyes, new views were understood. Simon learned he could discern bad as well as good. Analyzing characters when they approached made the stories real. In this realm, he was overwhelmed by the writer's changing will. Happy, sad, and angry lad, the pirate story started. Simon down the road of literary gold, with value he now regarded. Reading books, Simon looked on the shelf for another. The outside said encyclopedia. Now what would he discover? Dates and pages full of stages of the country where he lived, important happenings throughout time, Past knowledge built a bridge to the present. Simon pondered, questioning, when did this start? From cooking to cleaning, from jets to dreaming, books were written to impart the how and why, methods to try. Books were awesome indeed. Even if he tried setting time aside, it would be impossible to read everything written. Simon was smitten. He adored all the new pages, studying animals in Paraguay and warriors throughout the ages, civilizations old and present, and how they all were founded, inventions created and celebrated. In all he was astounded. Combustion engines' inner workings and the basis for the law, the United States Constitution and Egyptian tombs without flaw. Frozen in time, what a crime it would be not to partake. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now knew how to use his brakes. His parents returned, surprised to learn that Simon was still reading. Like a child consuming fruit, his mind was comfortably feeding. When Simon stopped, he was eager to talk and explain how he stumbled on the fact that within the book stacks, he found himself humbled. In the past, no attention was paid to the books his parents collected. Many a day his dad would say, "Simon, our library shouldn't be neglected." Video games took precedent, appearing to be more entertaining. Dad took the time to attempt to shine a light by patiently explaining, "If you haven't tried, please believe you don't know what you're missing." Mom would say, "Simon, one day you'll be happy that you listened." His parents stood feeling quite good as Simon talked on and on about what he read and what was said. His understanding dawned, saying you were right. His smile was bright, happy he kissed his folks, fully assured that if he endured, he would read a host of books short and long. An endless throng of knowledge lay behind it. Lessons discern them, never spurn them, because fun is where you find it. Thank you for listening. Greetings. Today's selection is Tangle, story number 6. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, played with his friend Jack. At the park, they got an early start, so time would not lack. Soccer was fun. They both would run and turn to make a goal. Jack would defend. What a good friend. Often Simon had told Jack, he's the best, above the rest. This made Jack very pleased. An only child, he had no siblings, so Simon fit in with ease. As the day went, hours were spent playing just those two. Then some others arrived. Simon, wide-eyed, pondered what to do. He looked at Jack, who quickly sat, smiling, hand extended. "Would you like to play?" Simon heard him say. Sincere, he never pretended to be friendly or kind. This was fine, because Simon liked big groups. A little shy as time flew by, his guards quickly drew. Aaron and Jerome set the tone by recommending a game. A basketball, they both were tall, and competition was their aim. Hard and rough, they played tough. Winning was all that mattered. Jack and Simon were humble, not willing to rumble. Before long, their glee was shattered. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, finally had enough. He came to play and enjoy the day, walking away fed up. Jack followed, exhibiting sorrow, angry at the new kids who took advantage of their size. Next to Simon, he slid. They sat on the bench, didn't move an inch, taking the time to catch their breath. Jack said, "It's all right, not close tonight. There's a lot of this summer day left." "Why were they mean? They spoiled everything," Simon bluntly stated. "I just like to play," Jack heard him say, looking completely devastated. "Cheer up, Simon," Jack said, climbing the monkey bars. "Forget it. I'm still your friend until the end. Forgive them. Are you with it?" Simon grinned. Jack was a friend he would never exchange. Yet life is full of surprises. Fate is what we blame. Soon Jack moved and Simon would lose the best friend he had ever known. In his short life, he couldn't remember feeling so all alone. Sometimes he hid it. Simon was timid, never going out of his way to meet and greet the other children he would encounter day by day. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, couldn't help but mope. Around his home, unhappiness shone with no way to sugarcoat. The situation was evident. Concerned, his parents asked, what was the problem? Why was he sulking? Simon answered his dad. My friend Jack moved far away, and I haven't anyone to play with. Jack was the best. There's no one left for me to bond and stay with. His daddy sat down, not making a sound, and gently held Simon's hand. He understood, as all parents should, to listen is what love demands. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, got it all off his chest. When he was done, his dad said, son, remember and never forget. Friends will come and friends will go. The world is filled to the brim. Around every single corner is a new and potential friend. All are not nice in this life. We're confronted with good and bad. So do your best to forgive no less the faults that others have. None are perfect, only God above. Don't frown, keep straight the angle of your eyes. Be friendly and wise. With disappointment, we all must tangle. Thank you for listening. Today's selection is Diligently Try, story number 7. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, was downtown and the scene was crazy. He saw a lot of homeless folks his friends considered lazy. Living in filth, Simon felt guilt for being more fortunate than others. Little kids in rags, Simon felt sad as he viewed the downtrodden mothers. Unhappy faces, all colored races, on the streets with no home. His friend said, forget it, Simon, don't sweat it, uncaring, heart's hard as stone. In the mall they played video rage, but Simon's demeanor had changed. Why were they poor? What was in store for their children when it rained? With no place to go and no one to show compassion, they would get sick. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now knew he wouldn't quit, agonizing about his friend's rude shout, if they choose to live that way. Simon didn't believe it, couldn't conceive it that a mother would willingly betray her dependent child as a lifestyle. No, this was wrong and needed change. The biggest problem he faced now was where to lay the blame. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, studied and read about the poor. What was the reason? Why weren't we feeding hungry people anymore? Some said terrible luck. Some folks get stuck in situations that go bad. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, now grew increasingly mad. Why was help deleted to those that need it? Who pulled the safety net? Government leaders were responsible, on this you could bet, said his neighbor Joe. Simon said, oh, are you sure this is the cause? What do you do when the needy approach you? Keep walking or kind-heartedly pause? To help the youth, tell the truth. Like others, you continue to walk, not stopping at all, ignoring their call of help. This has to stop. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, told his dad and mom he was aware of the poor out there and refused to sit back calm. He'd do all he could like a good person should, gathering food, money, and clothes. And though called dumb and sometimes shunned, he'd accept these blows. His parents agreed, saying it takes you and me to make a difference in this world. Your mom and I discreetly tried to help needy boys and girls. We never told you or tried to expose you to things we felt were sad. Simon, you're growing. Indeed, it's showing. Honestly, we're both glad. The love in your heart has begun to start manifesting itself in action. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, knew that only a fraction of folks would be reached week after week, yet some was better than none. Month after month, he delivered lunch to all who would willingly come. He collected clothing and was always probing his neighbors for items unwanted. And though sometimes refused or verbally abused, he continued on undaunted. Giving and caring, continually sharing material things and time. It didn't take long. Simon had a great throng of needy people in his line. Giving God thanks and hugs, lots of love, overwhelmed with sincere gratitude. Rhymin SImon, the storytelling diamond, to himself proved that a difference is made as long as you wade in and do the toil. Profits will come, results will run ahead, and nothing will spoil. The joy you feel when you heal the wound of the world's uncaring. By doing good things, smiles will cling to the faces of those sharing your gift of compassion, forever lasting. Rhymin SImon never again walked by a person in need. He would help indeed, or do his best to diligently try. Thank you for listening.